You tell yourself it's ambition. That hunger, that constant itch, that voice whispering, do more. Be more. Prove more. But late at night, when it's just you in the silence, it doesn't feel like ambition. It feels like fear. Fear of slowing down. Fear of being left behind. Fear of realizing that maybe, without all the noise, there's not much of you left. Because when you've built your entire worth on progress, stillness feels like death. You call it motivation. But sometimes, it's just the art of running away beautifully disguised as purpose. So what are you really chasing? Let's go deeper. Motivation, the kind that burns like fire, isn't always pure. For many of us, it's born from pain. From moments we were made to feel small, unseen, unworthy. Maybe you were the kid who was only praised when you won. The teenager who learned that achievement was love's currency. And now, even as an adult, you're still chasing gold stars from ghosts. You don't want success, you want relief. Relief from that ache that says, you haven't done enough. But here's the paradox. The more you chase, the louder that ache becomes. Because every victory you win proves one thing, that you were never enough without it. So you build higher, you push harder, you try to outwork your own emptiness. And you call it drive. Inside you, two voices battle. One says, keep going. Don't stop. You're almost there. The other whispers, you don't even know where there is. You live between obsession and exhaustion. Between pride and shame. You're proud of your progress, but disgusted that it's still not enough. You measure your worth by output, followers, deadlines, gym sets, paychecks. You start to believe that if you just hit that next milestone, maybe you'll finally feel peace. But peace doesn't live there. It never did. Because what you're really seeking isn't progress, it's permission. Permission to rest. To stop running. To finally say, I'm enough, even when I'm not achieving. But you never give yourself that permission because you're terrified of what happens if you stop. You've confused stillness with failure. You've mistaken peace for weakness. The self-improvement world sells you a beautiful lie. That happiness is one habit away. That healing is another course, another morning routine, another dopamine hack. You're told that growth is infinite, that you can always be better. But here's the truth most people never say aloud. Constant self-improvement keeps you trapped in quiet self-rejection. Because if you're always trying to become something else, you'll never feel safe being who you already are. You start to look at yourself like a broken project, a thing to fix, not a person to love. You track every habit, every calorie, every hour of productive time. Yet you can't remember the last time you simply existed without guilt. You can't rest because rest feels unearned. You can't stop because stopping feels like proof that the voice was right. That you're not enough. So you keep climbing the same mountain over and over again, never noticing that it's built from your own bones. Here's where it turns darker. You start sabotaging your own progress, not because you're weak, but because deep down, success threatens your identity. You've built your entire self around the struggle. The grind gives you purpose. The chaos gives you meaning. So the moment things start to go well, you panic. You delay, you overthink, you find new problems to solve. You're addicted to becoming. Because being terrifies you. You think you fear failure, but in truth, you fear peace. Because peace would mean facing yourself. And that's the one war you've never learned to fight. Like Icarus, you built wings to escape your own reflection, only to burn in the light of your own becoming. At first, people admire you. They call you driven, disciplined, unstoppable. But behind the smiles, you start to fracture. You wake up every morning already tired, not from work, but from pretending. You scroll through others' highlight reels, feeling both inspired and hollow. You post your wins, but deep down, you know you're performing for validation, not fulfillment. You've turned your entire life into a performance review. And one day, it hits you. You've achieved everything you once prayed for. But you feel nothing. The applause fades, the goals blur together, and you realize the truth. You were never chasing success. You were running from yourself. That's the tragedy of endless motivation. It doesn't build you, it consumes you. There's a quiet moment, maybe in the shower, or during a long walk where the noise finally fades. You feel the weight of all your effort, and for the first time, you ask, why am I doing this? Not from burnout, but from awareness. You realize that your worth didn't start with achievement, it started with existence. You realize that the younger version of you, the one you've been trying to outrun, never wanted perfection. They just wanted peace. The version of you who was trying to survive did the best they could. But the version of you now has to learn to live. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not fixing the past. Not becoming more. Just forgiving yourself for once believing you weren't enough. Healing begins the moment you stop using progress to hide your pain. When you allow rest without guilt. When you look in the mirror and stop seeing a project and start seeing a person. You'll still grow. You'll still improve. But this time, it won't come from fear. It'll come from love. The goal is no longer to become someone new. It's to come home to who you've always been. And in that stillness, in that quiet awareness, you'll realize something powerful. You never needed to become enough. You already were.